Right, Kalila.
First, let's give it up for Kalila! I think y'all can do better than that. Give it up for Kalila! All right. Good evening, folks. Good evening. My name is Cecily Myart-Cruz, and I am the president of United Teachers Los Angeles. And on behalf of our 35,000 educators, we want the public to know and to be clear that we want nothing more than to be back in our physical schools with our students, our babies. We miss them, but we've got to keep it real. We're in a pandemic, a health crisis, unlike anything we have seen before, and lives are at stake. Asking teachers to make up for society's shortfalls is nothing new, and it's not right. Besides a national failure of leadership, which was displayed last night, there are two culprits to our current situation: COVID-19 and a lack of funding for our schools, which are racial, social, and economic justice fights.
Right.
Our schools have lacked adequate funding for decades, while the wealthiest corporations, like this here Chevron, avoid paying their fair share. Our schools have the most crowded classrooms in the nation, and our local communities are struggling to respond to the impact of COVID-19. Chevron has invested over $500,000 to oppose Proposition 15, to skate away from paying over $7.5 million a year in property taxes at this refinery alone. That is the very definition of entitlement, corporate greed, and profits over people. We should not allow the billionaires, the millionaires, the privatizers, and big corporations to continue to avoid paying their fair share of property taxes. They benefit from public schools, public roads, public safety, just like the rest of us. But they use schemes and loopholes to avoid paying for them. This is inexcusable at this present time, or any time for that matter. They also hide behind slogans with phony attempts to align themselves with black and brown communities, the same communities that they are polluting day in and day out. Communities hardest hit with COVID cases because of this disenfranchisement to services that exist. So at what point do we stand up and fight for what is right for all of us? What does that look like nationally or even statewide? Now, our sister union, United Teachers of Richmond, are at the Northern California Chevron doing this exact same thing. That's what you call working together on a statewide coalition. Because we have to call this out. We have to lead with bold actions that send the message to the privatizers, the billionaires, and the corporations that the workers are uniting across sectors to say enough and no more. It looks like fighting on all fronts, asking those sector workers to hold strong in demanding safe schools. We must demand that the state and the federal government fund us at levels above meager portions. We can't leave this up to the local taxes and state budgets. We've got to demand more, not less. Proposition 15 is that way forward. Corporations think they can hide. We see their greedy side, and we are shining the spotlight on them. We are in a fight for the soul of the state of California and the health of future generations. We have got to continue to show up for our community, show up for our babies, show up for ourselves. We need to stay in these streets and lift our voices to demand justice. Because this is our moment, y'all. This is our moment to be bold and to actually create the schools that our students deserve. So we need to lift our voices and say yes on Proposition 15. Are y'all with me? Yes. Corporations are spending hand over foot money, and we say no more. They need to fund our public schools. They need to fund our communities like our lives depend on it.
Right.
Because the working class people have been footing the bill for far too long. So I'm asking you to not only stay here, stay connected, but we've got to stay in these streets, whether it be car caravans, press conferences, whatever we need to do. We've got to make sure that we are bringing this message loud and clear.
That's right. That's right.
Because we are in this together, and we can only win when we do this work together. Thank you. Now it's my great pleasure. I think they gave her a microphone. It's my great pleasure to bring up the president of our affiliate, our mother affiliate, American Federation of Teachers, 1.7 million members. And we're proud that she is here with her executive officers kicking off her bus tour today. So let's give it up for President Randy Y. Gardner.